Welcome back to Active Sports TV, where we keep you current with all sports media. And we got breaking news. We got breaking news. Clip City, they went ahead and made it official. We've been hearing the rumors. We've been hearing about it for about a week now, but it's officially done. Russell Westbrook is heading to Denver. My feelings, my reactions to it. Also, it's a sign and trade, baby. So we will also be getting something in return. And hey, I'm liking what we getting. Kris Dunn, welcome to Clip City, baby. Hey, I'm anxious to see what you're gonna do. And you got some shoes to fill over here, man. You know it's a much need. Uh, like I said, we'll get into you later. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and take our time on this and break this down, man. Give you the in scoops on the details on the trade, how I feel about Russell Westbrook. I want to give Russell Westbrook his flowers. You know what I mean? In his 2 year stay with us, we got some memorable moments. I just wish Russell Westbrook well on his journey over in Denver. We'll talk about how I feel about the fit over there. I'll talk about how the fit was with us. The reason why I feel it was a need for Russell Westbrook to move on, and I'm liking the additional piece that we got in return. So first, getting into the details of what took place earlier this pretty much morning. Russell Westbrook was involved with a signing trade with the Utah Jazz and the Los Angeles Clippers that will be sending Russell Westbrook over to the Utah Jazz, which we all know he's quickly going to be bought out and then be available to be acquired by the Denver Nuggets. So, in doing so and making that possible for Denver to even have that access at Russell Westbrook and the trade to go through, it was a big hold up. A lot of us are speculating what that could be. A lot of people think it was around the young power forward Najee. Maybe that we were trying to acquire him along with the trade. Possibly Utah was probably trying to acquire Najee, and Denver probably wasn't budging. That's speculation. No facts to that, but it did take a while. We all knew that this was going to happen. We just didn't know why. But turn to find out, they came around to agreeing with Frank and the front office to where we'll go ahead and receive Kris Dunn. We'll be sending Russell Westbrook over to Utah, also with a second round pick. Not too sure what year of that second round pick, whether it's next year or later on down the line. Not sure, but I also believe cash was included along that trade. So not only would would Utah be getting Russell Westbrook, then buying him out, cash will be coming along with that with a second round pick. The Utah Jazz don't leave without getting nothing. We get Kris Dunn, and Denver, they get their backup point guard to Jamal Murray and Russell Westbrook. Now, let's unpack this. You know what I mean? Let's assess what just took place here. You know what I mean? We got Russell Westbrook, superstar, Hall of Fame point guard, came over to us. Mixed feelings from the jump. Let's just keep it real. I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. Like I said, close ties to him. He's from the city. I'm from Los Angeles. I went to school in the same high school that he went to. Do your research. I know, it was a feel-good moment for him and his family to finally, after all these years of putting in that work in the NBA, to come home after it was a real disaster and tragic, events taking place when he would first came to Los Angeles, when he wasn't wearing the good old red, white, and blue. When he was with the Lakers, it didn't turn out as planned with him. We started to see a decline with Russell Westbrook. Still to me, I believe starting abilities, I've seen that Russell Westbrook will be able to still lead a team, get victories, take a team to the playoffs. We have seen this multiple times with Russ. With the Lakers, with so many cooks in the kitchen, it's kind of hard to maintain, that output. You know what I mean? When you're finally, trying to change the guard and you have to adapt to a new role and chasing championships instead of just being the alpha that Russ was and galvanizing the troops and like, hey, whether I get there with one leg, no legs, we getting there, and I'm gonna carry y'all along the way. Russ slowly stopped being able to do that with not the same amount of minutes. Like I said, having to change roles. He diminished his game in doing so. And that's what happened with the greats and veterans when they are on their own team, like in OKC, where Russell Westbrook was the man, hands down, without question, triple double king. The only one that is even can be spoken of when it comes to that is the great Oscar Robertson. So it's like, with that being said, Russell Westbrook will forever be some of, not just Clipper fans, but basketball fans in general, favorite. And rightfully so, as he depart from the Clippers, I want that to be noted, you know what I mean? Because despite what he's a shell of himself today, never forget what Russell Westbrook has contributed to the game, even what he contributes to the game day in and day out, which is starting to be a lost art form, with pouring his heart out there, playing all 82 games as possible, playing through injuries, and like I said, also bettering other players on the floor at times, when the circumstance is in his favor. Now, transitioning over from the praise and giving the flowers, I want to talk about why the Los Angeles Clippers and Lawrence Frank and Steve Ballmer and Ty Lue, and I'm quite sure coaching staff now Jeff Van Gundy, all collectively came together and said, "Hey, look at what we have. We seen what transpired last year. We acquired James Harden, who throughout that season carried us, led us to more wins, more efficient, better playmaker, unleashed something in Zubac so that we see promise in that potential being reached when we haven't seen it up to par thus far. Now, with James Harden, we have all these different elements that he unlocks. With Russell Westbrook, it became too much of catering to Russ's game, and it took away from the overall team. Now let's get into the history of why Russell Westbrook became a Los Angeles Clipper, the drama and the fiasco, because we got someone that needs to be mentioned, because a large part of why Russell Westbrook became a Los Angeles Clipper is because PG, who's no longer with us now in Philly, was a heavy advocate after the bubble series where he completely collapsed, had mental breakdowns, not to make any fun of any mental illness at all. I take that very serious, but he was having issues within the bubble, what affected his game, came up short, and one of his reasonings of him not being able to be effective is because he needed a point guard, and he needed to be able to play under a different system. We give him Ty Lue. We compliment him at first with John Wall. Got rid of Isaiah Hartenstein. John Wall doesn't work out. We're having the same issues at the point guard spot. We need somebody to come in because Kawhi does not need nor does he want the responsibility of being our ball handler, creator, our point guard. PG is iffy. He was iffy. Sometimes he want it, sometimes he don't. When he having a good game, he prefers it. When he doesn't, is because he needs a point guard. He was so wishy-washy. We just started to bring pieces based upon, what certain players felt was going to be more favorable to their game. Going back to Paul George and Russell Westbrook, we all know that Paul George had one of his best efficient seasons when he was with Russell Westbrook and OKC when they happened to get put out in the first round versus Damian Lillard, and that was, we all know what happened with that. The shot of, PG gonna be BC. We should have seen this, Clipper fans, but we in this mess because of him, and it's really unfair, honestly, what PG did to Russell Westbrook, and I'm gonna point this out to y'all. I'm just letting y'all trying to build a fast timeline to catch y'all up to where we currently at. The history of why now Russell Westbrook was on our team and why I feel behind Paul George's departure is part of the reason why Russell Westbrook is no longer going to be with the team. So, after PG do all of this, saying that he can't, be the facilitator. They're not giving Terrence Mann an opportunity. He's proven that he can do the job, but they still want a veteran. They still want somebody that's proven. They still want somebody that got a veteran pedigree, a high IQ ball handler, point guard. So, we're on a search. We see across the hall things are going wrong with Russell Westbrook. Normal Clipper fans like myself, we seen that. We wanted no parts of it. I was not an advocate. I did not want Russell Westbrook to come to the Clippers. Let me just let that be clear. A fan of Russell Westbrook. Love his game. But I felt that we had more desperate needs to fulfill at that time, and that we were losing more valuable pieces and not developing pieces that can potentially help us and get us over the top just to become star heavy and friendly around the organization. And this is when a lot of things started to change. A lot of transparency within the Clippers organization, them telling us about what was going to happen, who they were going to go after, who was injured for how long. All of the wishy-washy stuff started to transpire when we started adding these veterans, these superstar veterans. John Wall. Now we're acquiring Russell Westbrook after the drama and all of the slander and all of the bull that, the Laker fans ran him out of the organization and did. Like, we took that mess and said, well, hey, Paul George had a great season with Russell Westbrook in OKC. He says he wants him on the team. let's go ahead and let's make it happen. Lawrence Frank was having pushbacks, but the players, and I'm gonna say all players at this point, we're not gonna just single out PG. We can even include Kawhi Leonard, said that they needed a veteran point guard over Terrence Mann, over developing, letting Amir Coffey still develop and improve his game, which he was proving. They still went with, we need to add a veteran. Players won. We get Russell Westbrook. We get Russell Westbrook in the later part of the season. Try to catch him up to speed. Immediately make him the starting point guard. That year when Russ became the starting point guard, Terrence Mann was also our starting point guard. His win record as our starter was 10-2. Russell Westbrook played 18 games for us as our starter. He ended with a below 500 record. Now, we're not going to kill Russ. It was a lot of missing parts, injuries after injuries after injuries after injuries plagued Russell Westbrook from being able to show his full potential with the full star-studded roster that we had acquired. He never got an opportunity to play with these guys consistently because of injuries. Kawhi being the main guy as the corporate in that. The main guy to lead the low managing and the organization, sending him out of games along with Paul George. Even we had issues with James Harden the following year when we acquired him. Get into that later. So we end that year going into the playoffs. Half of what we are. Kawhi Leonard played one game, show us that he's still, the man, top 10. Knees go out. Russell Westbrook goes off. Goes off in the playoff series. We lose. I still believe we were robbed, but we lost, in that series versus Phoenix with just Russ for the most part and Norman Powell. PG went down. Kawhi went down. We had absolutely nobody to even fight with when it comes to that particular series. So we don't blame Russ, but we say, okay, we see what you can do, Russ. We're gonna make you the starter, right? We're telling them all of these false promises, right? Trying to make Russ confident and make him become who we know him to be. But the organization didn't do something that is quite, alarming and backhanding, because then we go into the next series like, hey, we got all our pieces. All we needed was Russell Westbrook. PG got his point guard. Kawhi Leonard got his point guard. The only reason why we lost was because of injury. So, shit. We good as is. Let's give it a full season healthy. Let's see what Russ can do in 82 games with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, him as a starter. In the beginning of the season, you automatically start to hear of us, James Harden wanting out, wanting to come to us. We interested in James Harden. I'm shaking my head. Just like I didn't want Russell Westbrook for obvious reasons. I believe our young guys' development was going to be stunted. I feel like we were going to lose key pieces like Isaiah Hartenstein and, Rocco and other guys that was contributors, Nicholas Batum, who went over to Philly, and thank God we got him back. These were valuable core pieces that I knew that was going to have to be a part of trades, and then it was also pieces that I didn't know that could have been a part of the trade that I did not want. So I was all the way against, these pieces coming because I knew the ripple effect later on down the line. We're going to get to that. So the organization do some backhand stuff and say, all right, Russ, we liked your game. We think you're, a good player for us. We want you on the team. We want you to be more like our sixth man. But we got a sixth man. We got Norman Powell. But they don't, all right, tell him this. This is the disrespect. This is why a lot of people looking sideways at us when it comes to an organization and how, some of our people is moving, because we should be straight. I'm about straightforwardness. I would prefer you let a person know straight up so they can't turn back around and say something totally different. You say it what it is, cut dry, keep it going. But that's not what our organization did with Russell Westbrook. We made it seem like we was going to save his career. We made it seem like, it was just a bad, environment over there, that people that the Lakers was pretty much making you the fall guy, and, if you come over here and you produce, you will earn your starting spot. Now, he halfway produced. In the playoffs, Russell Westbrook produced. Good enough for me for him to be the starter. We know he's going to be available. We knew that we can score a whole lot of points. We were one of the top offenses with Russell Westbrook at the end of the year. And it was some promise there. With James Harden coming in the trade, it threw everything off. Everything off. As I knew it was going to be. What Clipper fans was upset about is because why the point guard position is so prioritized when it's clear we have other needs, other demands. We need to help out Zoo. We need to get more defenders to relieve Paul George and Kawhi at the time of having to play so much on both ends of the court. We know that they have injury issues. They're injury prone. Why not use our youth to just acquire more veterans who is eventually going to break down? Now we have a stepping on toes situation to where now James Harden is taking core pieces, is leaving the Philly. Draft picks is leaving the Philly. James Harden is coming back, but with now a dilemma. So now we got to see, okay, can we play these guys together? They tried that for 3 games. It's horrible. All 4 of them on the floor, horrible. We lose every game. Start out 0-5. I think we lost 6 games straight. I went to the 6th game when we played Memphis. A game we shouldn't have lost. We lost to some rookies in the beginning of the season. I was there. I witnessed it. Right there on the floor. One of the first 5 games of James Harden being on the team. We lost them. They were all on the floor together. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kawhi, Paul George, and Zubac. All the young men, all the young players, you feel me? Terrence, man, Norm, nobody getting burned. Nobody getting nothing. Norm get off, get in, everybody off. Uncoordinated. So, we hear a report later on say, hey, Russell Westbrook volunteered to go to the bench for the greater good of the team, we like, yeah, that's what's up, Russ. We love that, Russ. That's what's up, my boy. You feel me? Sacrificing for the team. We like, that's what's up. That's what real, men leaders who's trying to go for the ultimate goal do. So I'm commending them and stuff like that. Then you be like, we hear, oh well, Russ ain't really comfortable with that. We start watching the games. We start seeing Russ ain't really comfortable with that. We are losing games. You seen the PG going through his bull. The season was a mess. All behind this narrative. We need point guards. We need playmakers. We don't want the ball handling responsibilities. Kawhi don't talk. So you know who's saying all this. You know who advocating for all this. This man then leaves Russell Westbrook high and dry, chasing the bag. Made Russ take what he didn't make him. Acquired him over knowing that he wasn't going to stay for the long haul. He wasn't going to take any sacrifice. But convinced Russ, hey, it's in your best interest, bro. Just stick it here with us. Take a budget cut. When he could have hit the market, could have got more money. Let's go after another. Let's try it again. Let's go, I'm work my situation out. We're going to go ahead. We're going to run it back. You feel me? I think it's best. Russell Westbrook takes a significant cut to stay with us. Everybody says because he wanted to stay home. I believe so too. But I also believe he felt he had some boys, his brothers, other like across the hall, who was going to use some of their flex, some of their power to keep him there. Now, we know Kawhi and Russ ain't like this, bro. We know this. We know that Paul George already opened the bag on his podcast talking about Kawhi hit him up talking about, I heard people, ain't comfortable there. They trying to get up out of there. You sure you want to stay? That's came on pod. Paul George told y'all that. So if Paul George knew this, why would you want to add Russ to a team that Kawhi don't even really want him on? So clearly Russ was on the team solely because Paul George wanted him on the team. Then he left him high and dry, bro, and went to Philly. Lying, talking about, oh yeah, man, the reason why I left is because there was a no trade clause. I felt like they was going to trade me. Philly can trade you next year, bro. Let you not perform and do what you're supposed to do. Your ass can be in Washington wearing a Wizard jersey next year with your 212, bro. We made all of these, we complimented all these things to you, bro. We catered to you. You brought Russ over here. You made him take a budget cut, bro. Made him sacrifice, bro. Got him to buy into something that you didn't even buy into. Then you went ahead, took the bread, and left him dry. Now, he up out of here. He going to Denver, bro. There's no need for him no more. You not here. What we going to keep Russ here for? What we keeping veterans for? What we going to overpay veterans for if we don't got the core? It's time to rebuild. So, aside from Russell's game and him being just not efficient with us and not last year not having the best season whatsoever, a lot of this was to his own detriment. Like he caused some of this upon himself. If he balls out He performs. He does what he's supposed to do. The Clippers may think something different. But he failed in that department, clearly. So there's no need for us to sit here and, gripe over what we all seen. But if anybody gonna have a problem with anybody, it should be Paul George. Like, this, look what he did to the franchise. Come on, bro. Then we had to go get a real point guard that Kawhi most likely wanted. Because obviously it was a battle between stars. I'm just assuming this. This ain't facts. This is a Clipper fan giving his reaction. But Kawhi was like, what the hell? Like, what the... Bro, you know I didn't want this nigga on the team. Like, you gon'... I just told you that he was trying to come over here before you, and I got you over here. Now you pulling fast ones, and it ain't working. Like, I don't feel like we can win. So he went and got somebody that he thought he can win with. And we started winning. The only problem is we had too many cooks in the kitchen. And too many egos. And too many stars. Everybody playing for different things. Paul George won a contract. Russell Westbrook trying to keep his superstardom. James Harden, he just trying to prove himself. He just trying to... Hey, Steve Ballmer, you see, I'm balling out here. I want a contract. And Kawhi just trying to stay goddamn healthy. God damn. The shit. If you a Clipper fan, like I'm a Clipper fan, you been a Clipper fan, we've been going through it, bro. The stress is for real. You know what I mean? I commend all of y'all. Because this shit is for real. You know what I mean? I'm making this content, man. I'm up late making this content. Letting you know about all of these tragic times and stressful times and moments that has rocked the Clipper fan base to the core. This fucking merry-go-round where we just going in the same circle, the league in the same spot. Like, come on now. So I don't blame Lauren Frank, finally listening to himself and only himself and starting to move the organization in a different direction, because obviously catering to the players and the stars led to nothing but destruction and abandonment, and vacancies, draft picks. We ain't got no draft picks whatsoever. You know what I mean? All the way to 2030, we ain't got no draft picks. Thank you, Paul George. Thank you. Had to give the last few of them up just to get James Harden. Thank y'all. We like to appreciate, we like to give a thanks to you, Paul George. Diva ass. Anyways, I'm happy that now Russell Westbrook can now leave the situation where it was obviously no direction. Nobody knew what was going to be going on. It was going to be another chaotic season where everybody was trying to play for their own personal achievements. It was time. Russell Westbrook, he did not do himself any justice having the season that he had, doing the things that he did last season. I mean, the playoffs said itself. I mean, dude missed almost 30 consecutive field goals, bro. Like, that's unheard of. Like, you can't overpay for that at 35, 36. So it was time, So, I'm probably gonna make another episode. I didn't want to keep y'all on air for too longer. I just want to give you my thoughts and give you my little rant. I wanted to share the insight and the history on what took place. Like I said, mixed feelings on what transpired with the trade. I'm happy we got Kris Dunn. I'm gonna do an episode on you, bro. Definitely give you your flowers. Talk about you acquiring. You know, we acquiring you. Let me rephrase that. And what you can contribute to the team, and how I see the season going next year, and with you in the roster, how that may look. So if you interested, like you should be interested in all Clipper content, sports content around the world. Well, like I said, from the Olympics to the Summer League to the Clip City, boxing in general, etc. You need to be subscribed right now. You looking right now. Look at me. Don't do it. Hit the subscribe button right now. Like the video. I'm putting in the work. Come on, man. Don't be a lame, man. Don't be a hater. It ain't nothing but a click. It's free. Yeah. You liking what you seeing? Fuck with your boy, man. This Active Sports TV, and we're gonna give you another one. Hey, Russ, farewell, bro. We had some good times, good memories. Hey, I definitely enjoy watching you live, but go ahead and restore your career, bro. We out of here on that note. Active Sports TV. Peace.